right, yo, so we're back, man. We're back, and I got a dope passage for y'all. We're going to stick with, I got to get through this book, The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. But let me tell y'all which book I started yesterday. All right, so I started the Audible book of Donald Trump, The Art of the Deal. Just because I was on the plane and I left my, those things that go over your neck. My mom bought me some. So that way for reading, I'm not like holding a light or distracting people, whatever. It's just, cool little reading lights. I forgot them. So therefore I was like, nah, I can't be on this flight in this elevated environment where I heard that, your thinking gets elevated just with the higher, what's it called? The Denver effect. I don't know. The higher, I know what I'm talking about. You're higher in the air. So therefore, your mind is supposed to be on an elevated wave as well. I don't know if that's true or not, but I tapped in with Donald Trump's Art of the Deal. Yo. And you got to keep in mind, this is Donald Trump from like the 80s. Like this was his first book that he ever wrote. I don't know if you guys are Trump people, either or. It may be, you may be able to get some game from it. You can get games from enemies, friends, whoever, people that you're indifferent on. But for today, we're going to stick with this. Napoleon Hill, The Law of Success. So I got a passage for y'all. And I think it's a real good one for a Friday. Altitude. Yeah, come on, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's the edibles. I don't know. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into this passage. I think it's very fitting for where we are right now in society and just overall with this Western culture. So let's get to it. Instead of quitting the job because there were obstacles to master and difficulties to be overcome, you should have faced the facts, and then you would have known that life itself is just one long series of mastery of difficulties and obstacles. The measure of a man may be taken very accurately by the extent to which he adapts himself to his environment and makes it his business to accept responsibility for every adversity with which he meets, whether the adversity grows out of a cause within his control or not. Now, if you feel that I have panned you rather severely, have pity on me, O fellow wayfarer, for you surely must know that I have had to punish myself more sorely than I have punished you before I learned the truth that I am here passing on to you for your use and guidance. I have a few enemies, thank God for them, for they have been vulgar and merciless enough to say some things about me that forced me to rid myself of some of my most serious shortcomings. Did y'all hear what he just said? I have a few enemies, thank God for them, for they have been vulgar and merciless enough to say some things about me that forced me to rid myself of some of my most serious shortcomings, mainly those which I did not know I possessed. I have profited by the criticism of these enemies without having to pay them for their services in dollars, although I have paid in other ways. However, it was not until some years ago that I caught sight of some of my most glaring faults, which were brought to my attention as I studied Emerson's essay on compensation, particularly the following part of it. Pay attention to this, please, please, please. Our strength grows out of weakness. Not until we are pricked and stung and sorely shot at, awakens the indignation which arms itself with secret forces. A great man is always willing to be little. While he sits on the cushion of advantage, he goes to sleep. When he is pushed, tormented, defeated, he has a chance to learn something. He has been put on his wits, on his manhood. He has gained facts, learned his ignorance, and cured of the insanity of conceit, has got moderation and real skill. The wise man always throws himself on the side of his assailants. It is more his interest than it is theirs to find his weak point. Blame is safer than praise. I hate to be defended in a newspaper. As long as all that is said against me, I feel a certain assurance of success. But as soon as honeyed words of praise are spoken of me, I feel as one that lies unprotected before his enemies. Whew. All right. Long story short that I got from it, if you're going through something, adapt to whatever it is. There's never a valid excuse not to win. There's never a valid excuse not to win. And we should look for our enemies. We should embrace our enemies and embrace the criticism that a lot of our enemies bring about and see ourselves through the eyes of our enemies, because that's how we can identify our weak points. And when we identify our weak points, then it's on us if we want to change it. That's the only way that we're going to grow. That's the only way that we're going to elevate. That's the only way that we're going to become a sharper, better person. So therefore, when we're confronted with life's challenges, we'll be able to overcome them rather than, I don't know, getting overwhelmed by them. Get over that hurdle, get to the top of that mountain. So therefore we can climb a new mountain, face a new opportunity, because everything that we go through, that's what's going to help us grow. If we're not going through anything, we're not going to grow. We all heard that we all of this. It's so funny how all this stuff is connected. It goes back to the saying, what is it? Hard times make strong men create easy times create weak men, and weak men create tough times. All right. Embrace every little thing that we're facing. If we had a difficult week from Monday to Thursday, thank God for it. Embrace it. It is what it is. Thank your boss for it. You don't got to tell them, thank the asshole that was being mean to you, thank them, because what it's doing is it's forcing you to grow. And it's forcing you to identify certain areas in you that you may need to grow in, that you did not think were maybe as big of a problem. So therefore, everything that we're going through, literally everything that we're going through, we have to be thankful for it, appreciative of, some of the good things, grateful of the great things, but we should be more grateful of the things that we need to go through, because the tougher the challenge, we're going to learn a lot about ourselves and develop a lot of skills, lessons, and build a lot of value within ourselves that's going to allow us to use that moving forward and to win. All right. So just wanted to leave y'all with that. Like I said, Law of Success, Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill is one of the GOATs, man. He's one of the GOATs. And I'm telling you, for him to have written this book so long ago, it makes you think that all of this stuff has been seen before. Everything that we see now has been seen before. There are no new problems. It just looks different. All right. So moving on.